Jeff, you have some practical tips that you give your athletes in terms of a nutrition plan for racing. I know we're getting short on time here. Go ahead and wrap us up with a couple of thoughts about how listeners can incorporate some additional attention to detail for themselves.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's just like Bob was talking about the periodization plates and keeping it simple and practical. I think a lot of athletes, especially new to the sport, have done so much with the training, and then it gets to the nutrition part and it's kind of overwhelming. And so when you're in a race and you're trying to do this complex math computation, ounces per hour of your grams of calories and your fluid ounces and your sodium milligrams and all this, it can be very complex. So the more that you can idiot proof it, and I found being an idiot myself, some of these things are useful, is doing things that are pre-measured. So you're not counting doing that math. So you're doing 1 bottle per lap on the course, or 1 bottle per X number, from this aid station to that one. So it's pre-measured, or so you're topping up your aero flask up front. Looking at realizing that you have your calories, your fluid, and your sodium, 3 different things to watch. So a lot of athletes will do these 3 separate calculations. And so if you're thinking of your calories being very static, based on your race, it's a very consistent, that doesn't change from race to race very much. But the fluid changes can change dramatically based on the temperature, climate, humidity, and then always measuring the sodium in proportion to the fluid. So as goes the fluid, so goes the sodium. And so it can keep it a lot simpler, and then pre-mixing a certain amount of sodium with your fluids is one less thing to keep track of. So the more that you can simplify, make it usable, consumable as you're taking it, where you can look at a full bottle or a half full bottle, and you're not trying to equate 50% of a bottle, or so many ounces is gone and how much have you drank and how many minutes has it been. The more that you can simplify and do those little techniques on the race course makes it for a lot better day, especially when your blood's not in your brain thinking, it's in your muscles working.
Right. So practicing and getting confident with what you're doing in training is really going to pay off on race day.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, so thank you everyone for being on the panel. Everyone who's listening, we've got some special free things for you tonight, so stay tuned till after the question and answer. We really like to try and wrap up on time to respect the time you guys have set aside. So I'm going to throw things back to Danny here to take a couple questions from the audience, and then we've got some free offers for you guys.